I'm now joined by Technical Director of BGMA. This is Paul Fleming. Great to see you. In fact, you've also been chair of the Regulatory Working Group, and I understand that that's where you had great associations with the MHRA, Department of Health, NHS, and so on. So you're a man who's talked to a lot of stakeholders in the past.
Thanks very much for inviting us along this morning. It's been interesting to hear what the other speakers have had to say. One aspect that hasn't been mentioned so far that's very important in the availability of medicines for patients is continuity of supply. There have been instances where there have been shortages or risks of shortages in important medicines, life-threatening conditions involved as well. So I see one of the benefits of the FDF.
And why is that the shortage? Because of the manufacturing process that's gone on, that there just hasn't been continuity of that process?
There have been multiple reasons. Some of them have been availability of materials, active ingredients, or some issues at manufacturing sites that have led to interruptions in supply. So there's been multiple things behind it. But it has been an issue, not just in developing countries, but in Western Europe and in the US as well, particularly with these more high technology products that we've heard talked about this morning. So more closely integrating the different parts of product development, manufacturing, the supply chain, making the medicines available, all of that more tightly brought together should help to contribute towards finding solutions to those sorts of issues. So I personally see that as one of the potential benefits that could come out of FDF being more tightly connected as a forum, bringing together all the different
So basically
people.
Bringing everyone together, ensuring you've got that continuity of process, you've got all the right people in the right room talking about that continuity.
That's right, and also helping to give oversight across the whole of the supply chain, which is also a very important factor.
Yeah, and we talked earlier about trust, actually. You know, running out of your medication is very traumatic for any patient, you know, and that it does happen where you cannot get hold of those. So I assume that will go partly towards restoring trust from the patients as well.
Yes, because there's nothing worse for a patient than going to their pharmacy, hoping to get their medicine and being turned away or having a delay. And of course, one of the main contributions of the generic part of the sector is there are multiple suppliers. So you're not reliant upon a single branded medicine. So in the generic market, if one manufacturer can't supply, another one can step in, so the patient doesn't suffer.
But I assume that's also, I mean, it's quite interesting. There's a drug that I'm working with at the moment where they have run out. There's a preferred supplier of the generic. They have run out, and there's been unprecedented need for it. And there's now a 6 to 8 week wait. No one really knows how long it will be until the generic manufacturer can get those products to market again. Again, and that's another trust issue, isn't it? Because what do you do as a consumer?
Another benefit that I see from what we've heard about this morning is the use of newer technologies. So one of the benefits with generic companies moving into product development is they are doing it today. So they have the opportunity to use newer technologies that can be more robust, more reliable, use more continuous methods of manufacture, which is a step on from the technologies that would have been in place 15 or 20 years ago when the original version of the medicine was in place. So I wouldn't underestimate that those issues do still occur, but hopefully they're becoming less so.
Yeah. And why do you think it's important that FDF has its own dedicated zone at CPhI?
Well, personally, I would think it's because of the point I made a couple of moments back, which is to do with tying things more closely together, both for integrating the different elements of the supply chain and also keeping things as simple as possible, and also having that oversight to ensure that it's not just about bringing the product to market, but make sure that it's continuously available throughout its lifetime, which for some of the medicines we've even heard about today, they're available and used and very commonly prescribed for decades. So it's not just about bringing the product to market, it's about making sure it's available to patients continuously for many years to come.
So you really do believe there are opportunities to be had that, you know, that you can capitalise by bringing everyone together?
I think so, and I think it's not just in the context of the event we're talking about this morning and the programme of work that UCB are doing, but also across the industry as a whole. There is much more attention on looking at the robustness and security of the supply chain, so this can play a part towards that.
Super. Well, thank you very much indeed.